When you think of Superman versus Doomsday, your brain probably flashes back to that historic moment in The Death of Superman. The stakes were world-ending, the battle was raw, and the tragedy hit us right in the heart. But what if I told you there's a comic story that takes that same terrifying monster and makes him feel like the ultimate blooper reel on repeat? Welcome to Superman Doomsday Hunter Prey, a saga where the scariest villain in Superman's gallery becomes both a nightmare and a running gag. Here at Zero Fighter Comics, we don't just recap stories, we dive into them, laugh with them, and pull out the insights that make you love comics even more. And trust me, Hunter Prey is like the director's cut of Superman vs. Doomsday, with behind-the-scenes comedy baked into every rematch. After the death of Superman, DC faced one big question: now what? Doomsday had killed the Man of Steel in a slugfest for the ages, but once the dust settled, fans wanted more. Enter Hunter Prey from 1994, written and illustrated by Dan Jurgens, the very man behind the original Doomsday arc. This wasn't just a cash-grab sequel, it was DC trying to dig into Doomsday's backstory while giving Superman a rematch. But here's where the blooper vibe comes in. Every time Superman thinks he's got Doomsday handled, banished, destroyed, tossed into a black hole, guess what? The monster just hits reset like a glitch in the Matrix. He's not just scary, he's hilariously persistent, like that one boss fight in a video game you just can't finish because the AI cheats. Hunter Prey begins with Superman really determined to learn more about Doomsday. He knows beating him once wasn't enough because, well, evil doesn't just stay buried in comics, it respawns. Superman digs up information on Doomsday's origin, which traces all the way back to Krypton's prehistoric experiments. That's right, Doomsday isn't just some space monster, he's practically a failed science project gone viral. But here's the kicker. No matter what Superman tries, Doomsday just won't stay gone. Toss him into space? He bounces back. Crash him into a planet? He gets up like nothing happened. It's like the comic is trolling both Superman and us readers, daring us to imagine what else Clark could possibly do. If you've ever yelled at a horror movie like "Don't open that door," then you'll get the same vibe here, except it's Superman saying, "Didn't I just throw you into space last issue?" One of the most engaging parts of Hunter of Prey is, honestly, the reveal of Doomsday's origin. So, he was created on Krypton long before Superman's time by these scientists who, kept cloning and killing a test subject to force evolution. The end result? A creature that just can't die the same way twice. Brutal, yeah, but also kind of funny in a twisted way. Imagine for a second trying to swat a fly, and every time you miss, the fly evolves into a bigger, angrier version that learns from your mistake. That's the gag of Doomsday's entire existence. He's not just unkillable, he's like the universe's most unfair comeback mechanic. In video game terms, he's basically the player who hacks the system so he can't lose a rematch. That's why every final defeat feels less like closure and more like, well, a blooper reel of Superman's greatest frustrations. Now here's where I want to get personal with you, Zero Fighter fam. Superman's struggle in Hunter Prey isn't just about physical power, it's about patience, persistence, and the grind. We've all faced that one problem in life that just won't go away. Reading Hunter Prey feels like watching Superman live through the world's worst Monday on loop, and weirdly enough that makes him more human than ever. We don't just see him as an invincible god, we see him as a guy who's tired, annoyed, and still willing to stand up anyway. That's the lesson hidden in the blooper vibe. Persistence beats frustration. So, to spice things up a bit, Dan Jurgens throws in Cyborg Superman, one of the most unhinged Superman villains ever. The Cyborg basically worships Doomsday as the ultimate destroyer, and he tries to weaponize him against Superman. It's kinda like giving a bulldozer to a toddler and expecting nothing to go wrong. Spoiler alert, everything goes wrong. This subplot really adds another layer to the blooper vibe because it shows how villains underestimate Doomsday too. Even the bad guys think they can control him, but nope. Doomsday is the ultimate not today, Satan moment. Every time someone tries to manipulate him, he ends up wrecking the plan in spectacular unintentional comedy. It's, quite the sight to behold. By the end of Hunter/Prey, Superman once again tries to put Doomsday down for good. This time, he sends him hurling into the end of time itself. Yes, literally the heat death of the universe. The comic basically says, fine, if nothing else works, let's just throw him so far away he has no universe left to wreck. And that's where the blooper reel vibe really peaks, because as readers we know the joke, Doomsday always comes back. No matter how epic the final moment looks, Superman's victory feels like a pause button, not a stop sign. It's both frustrating and hilarious, like watching your favorite sitcom character fall into the same trap episode after episode. So why should you care about Hunter/Prey in 2025? First, it's a classic Superman story that expands his mythos while giving us a deeper look at Doomsday. Second, it really captures the spirit of what makes comics fun. That blend of drama and honestly, a bit of absurdity. Comics are allowed to be both serious epics and laugh-out-loud bloopers, often at the same time. For beginners, Hunter/Prey is a crash course in how DC builds on its biggest events. And for experienced fans, it's a reminder of how rich and self-aware the Superman saga can be. You know, it proves that even when the stakes are cosmic, comics still know how to wink at the audience. It's like they're in on the joke with us. At its core, Superman, Doomsday, Hunter/Prey is a story about resilience wrapped in blooper energy. It's Superman showing us that even when the universe throws the same problem at you over and over, you just keep swinging, you keep fighting, and sometimes you even laugh at the absurdity of it all. So next time you're facing your own personal doomsday, whether it's work stress, family drama, or just the endless grind of life, think about Superman in Hunter/Prey. Remember how he groaned, rolled his eyes, and still threw one more punch. That's the blooper lesson we can all live with. If you had fun diving into this blooper reel of Superman's never-ending fight with Doomsday, make sure you stick around. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video with your comic-loving crew. Here at Zero Fighter Comics, we'll keep bringing you the laughs, the lore, and the lessons hidden inside your favorite panels. Because comics aren't just stories, they're the best blooper reels in the multiverse.